Hi everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Dee and today we're learning how to make this granny square sweater. It's very easy, very beginner friendly. You just have to follow the instructions that I'll be giving and you will be good to go. I made this in a size large, but you can make it in your size using your own measurements following the instructions that I'll be giving. So to get started, we're going to start from around here, going downwards, and I will explain the rest as we go, okay? So let's get started. So for the yarn I'm using today is going to be medium weight yarn, and I used a total of 3.5 skeins. So I used 3 of this color, and then I used half of the off-white color. Then you're going to need your tape measure, you're going to need scissors, and I'll be using a 6mm hook. You're also going to need your stitch markers, okay? So we're going to start with a magic ring, and this is how I make mine. I'm going to get my working yarn and place it on top of the short tail as you're seeing. And then I'm going to wrap that around my finger because that's how I feel comfortable holding my yarn. Then I will insert my hook in that circle and then I'll pull up a loop, making sure that I'm holding on to the other strand, okay? So this is how I make my magic ring, but you can make yours in any other easy way you know how to. Chain 4, the chain 4 will count as a double crochet and a chain 1, and then you're going to yarn over and make 3 doubles into that same space like that. Chain 2, back in the same space you're going to make 3 doubles. That's 1, 2 and 3. Then you're going to chain 1, yarn over, back in the same space, make a double crochet. Then you can pull this strand to close the ring. And please make sure you weave this strand in, don't just cut it, because if you do, then your work is going to come out undone, okay? So for row 2, we're going to chain up 4 and turn our work, and then we're going to work in this chain space, and we're going to make 3 double crochets. So that's 2 and 3, all in the same space. Then chain 1, skip 1, 2, 3, and in the chain 2 space you're going to make 3 double crochets. Chain 2, then 3 more doubles into that same space. Chain 1, and then skip 1, 2, 3, and into the next chain 1 space you're going to make 3 double crochets. Like that. Chain 1, back into that same space you're going to make 1 double crochet to complete our second row. This is what you should have. Row 3, we're going to repeat row 2. So chain 4, turn your work, and make 3 double crochets into that first chain 1 space. That's 3. Chain 1, skip 3, 1, 2, 3. In the next chain 1 space you're going to make 3 double crochets. Chain 1, skip 3, and in the chain 2 space you're going to make 3 doubles. So here is where we're making our shell. This is the middle point of our triangle. So make 3, chain 2, yarn over and make 3 more double crochets into that same space. Chain 1, skip 3, in the chain 1 space make 3 double crochets. chain 1, skip 3, and in the chain 1 space make 3 doubles, chain 1, back in the same space you're going to make 1 double crochet. Okay guys, by doubles I mean double crochets. I hope you get me. So that's how it looks, and you're going to keep repeating those 2 rows until your triangle is longer to where you want your sweater to stop. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys one more time. So chain 4 and turn your work. In the first chain 1 space you're going to make 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip 3, and in the next chain 1 space you're going to make 3 double crochets, chain 1, make 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, and make your shell in the next chain 2 space. So skip the next 3, and in the chain 2 space make 3 double crochets, chain 2, chain 2, yarn over, and then back into that same space make 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip 3, in the next chain 1 space make 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip 3, in the next chain 1 space make your 3 doubles into that space, chain 1, skip 3, and make 3 doubles into the next space, chain 1, make your last double crochet into that same space, chain 4, and repeat. Okay, from here you're going to keep repeating row 3 and 4. Okay, I'll turn it so I can show you better. So this is going to be the shoulder part, and then this is going to be the bottom. So you're going to repeat that same pattern until you have enough length for your shoulder to shoulder measurement. So here I have 14 rows completed, and I'm going to be changing colors. And to change colors, I wanted to show you this part so you guys can know. Always attach your new color from where you left off, okay? So this is my strand, this is where I left off, this is where I cut off my yarn. So I'm going to attach the new color right on top of this very last stitch. You can change the colors in the new way you know how to, but this is how I am going to be changing mine, and I'm just showing you that you always have to attach the new color from where you left off. So, okay, keep that in mind. So this is row 15, and I'm going to chain 4, and then I'm going to make 3 doubles into that space. So basically we are repeating the same pattern. I'm still making mane because I still don't have enough inches for my shoulder to shoulder measurement. So I'll go ahead and complete this part. I'll be back once I have my measurement for the shoulder to shoulder measurement, and then I'll show you guys what to do next. So now guys, I have 15 rows completed, and these are now enough for my shoulder to shoulder measurement, which was 18 inches plus 3, so that goes all the way to 21 inches. So the width here is 21 inches, okay? So from this point, I'm going to stop making increases and I'm going to just continue making it longer at the bottom. Okay, so to do that, we're going to chain 2 this time. Okay, we're no longer chaining 4 like how we've been doing it. So you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, then you're going to turn your work, and then you're going to skip that first chain that we have. We've been working in this first space, so this time we're going to skip it. So we're going to skip all these 4 stitches and chain 1 included. So you're going to skip all that and work a double crochet into the next space. You're going to make 3 doubles into that same space like that. And by doing this, we are making decreases, or we're trying to keep this line straight. And from here, you're going to keep repeating the pattern. Chain 1, make 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, make 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space. You're going to keep repeating that until you get to the end. So keep going until you get to the end, and then I'll show you what to do there. Okay, right here. Let's meet here. All right, I'm now at the end of my row, and we're going to do the same thing that we did at the beginning of this row. Same thing we did here while starting this row. Okay, so you're simply going to yarn over, and you're going to make 1 double crochet into that space. And that's it. Row completed. For next row, you're going to chain 2 and turn your work. And then you're going to yarn over and skip all this and make your first set of double crochets into that into that next space. Make 3 double crochets like so. Chain 1, make 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space, and from here you guys know the pattern, so you're going to repeat that until you get to the end of the row. So I'm going to show you guys one more time how to end and start the next row, and then I'll make the rest of the rows off camera, and then yeah, we'll be done soon. Okay, so again, to complete this row, you're going to simply yarn over and skip those 3 double crochets. You're going to skip that last cluster and make 1 double crochet to complete the row like that. For next row, you're going to chain 2 and turn. And then you're going to skip all this and make 3 doubles into the next space. Chain 1, skip 3, make 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space. And you're going to repeat the pattern, guys, until you get to the end of the row. Alright guys, so this is what I have at this point, and you should be having the same. Okay, so to end the row here, you're going to yarn over, and you're going to make 1 double crochet at the you're going to yarn over and skip all this, and then make 1 double crochet into this space. And there you have completed the row. To start your next row, you're going to chain 2, turn your work, and you're going to repeat those 2 rows, okay? So what we're doing here is we're keeping the sides straight. As you can see, the sides are starting to get straight. So you're going to keep doing that as we keep this middle point increasing. We need to keep this increasing until we get to the length that we want. Wherever you stop at, that is where your sweater is going to be. That is where it is going to stop. That is going to be the length of your sweater. That is how long it is going to be, okay? And then we're going to turn it into a square. So I hope that makes sense. But if not, please, you can pause and first watch what I'm doing, and then you can do the same thing. So for my next row, I'm going to change colors. And as I told you earlier, guys, always start from where you left off. So I'm going to insert my hook in this last stitch, and I'm going to attach my new color. Then I chain 2, yarn over, and go into the next space with 3 double crochets. Chain 1, 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space, and I'm going to repeat the pattern, guys, until I get to the end of the row. Alright, guys, and here we are. I changed colors as I wanted, and this is what I have so far. And I'm done making my increases at the bottom as well. And my panel right now is at 20.5 inches. That's how long my sweater is going to be, minus the ribbing that we're going to do later, which is about I think 3 inches. Okay, so now we're going to turn this into a square. So from this point, we're going to work on we're going to work on one side at a time. Okay, so we're going to start with this side. So we're going to start from here. So I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work, yarn over, and into this next space I'm going to make 3 double crochets. Chain 1, skip these 3 and make 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip 3 and make 3 double crochets into the next space, and I'm going to repeat this until I get to the chain 2 space. So until I get to the middle of my sweater. Right here. Here I am, guys. As you can see, I just worked in my last space and I now have the chain 2 space left. So what you do here is yarn over, and in that chain 2 space where we have been making a shell, you're just going to place there 1 double crochet, and that's it. Chain 2 and turn your work. Turn your work, and then you're going to skip all this and make your first 3 doubles into this next space right here. So yarn over and make 3 doubles into that space. chain 1, skip 3 and make 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, and repeat the pattern until you get to the end of the row. Once you get to the end of the row here, you're going to make only 1 double crochet to complete the row. Chain 2 and turn your work. Yarn over and make 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, make 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, and you're going to repeat that until you get to the end of the row. Alright, I'm at the end of my row, and I'm going to make only 1 double crochet to complete the row. Simply yarn over and make your last double crochet, and you're going to repeat that pattern over and over until you have only 1 cluster left at the end. So this is how our work is looking, guys. You'll have to keep going until you have only 3 double crochets left. Okay, so yeah, that's what you're going to keep doing. And as you can see, our work is starting to get straight at the bottom as well. So here I'm supposed to be making 5 rows. So I'm going to change color and keep repeating the pattern. So to complete my one side of the panel, this is what I have, and I only have only chain 1 space left. This is it here, and I'm going to make 3 double crochets into that space. Yarn over and complete the row with a double crochet. And from here you're going to chain 1, get your scissors and cut off the yarn, leaving a long tail that you can weave in later. So that's how we complete this. That's how it's looking. So now we're going to work on the other side of our panel. So this is how it's looking. Okay, so we have one side completed, and now we have to work on the other side to turn this into a complete square. Okay, so we have to do the same thing we just did on the opposite side. So to get started here, and this is the only time that you have to start your next row from the middle, not from where you have not from where you left off. Okay, so I'm going to make a slip knot, and I'm going to attach my yarn right in the middle where I have inserted my hook right here, because for my next row I was supposed to turn my row. That is why I'm starting from this point. So I'm going to start from here. Attach yarn and chain 2. 1, 2. Then you're going to yarn over and make 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1 Make 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space and repeat until you get to the end of the row. And then I'm going to end my row with only 1 double crochet. Just like how, okay, everything we're doing here is the same thing we did for the opposite side. Okay, so we're just doing the same thing. So you're going to chain 2, turn your work, and then you're going to skip all this and make 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, make 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, and you're going to repeat until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you're simply going to yarn over and end it with a double crochet, then chain 2 and turn, and you're going to repeat that pattern. I'm going to make the remaining rows of camera, and I'll be back once I have only 1 cluster left. Okay, here I am. I'm going to chain 2 here and turn my work, and I have only 1 space left, so I'm going to place there 3 double crochets, then yarn over and complete it with a double crochet. Chain 1 and cut the yarn off. So after making your front panel, guys, you're going to make an identical panel, which is going to be the back, and this here is what I have for my back panel. I chose to use 1 color just so it can be different from the front. Okay, so it's going to be like so. You may need to pull your work a little bit just to make it even. Okay, so after this, what we're going to do next is make the sleeves, and the sleeves are also made the same exact way but shorter. Okay, so I'm going to show you the measurements of my sleeve, and then we'll go ahead and join all this up. So like I said, for the sleeve, it's the same process we used for the front and back panel. So I'm going to just show you the measurements for my sleeve here, okay? So this is about, it is 16.5 inches wide. And then I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I made 20 rows, and then I started working on the sides. Okay. And here in the center, it measures up to 14 inches. So now that we know the measurements for the sleeves, of course, you're going to make a second one. I'm going to have to weave in all these tails, and then we're going to join the sleeves together. We're going to attach the sleeves to the front and back panels, guys. So I'll be back here shortly. So for the next step, you're going to align your work very nicely and make sure everything is nice and even and how it is supposed to be. So we're going to join the shoulders first and leave the neck hole out, of course. So first of all, we're going to join the shoulders, and to do that, you're going to get your tape measure and you're going to mark where you want your shoulder seam to stop, and then you're going to mark where you want your neck hole to start, and you'll do the same thing with the other side of the shoulders. So for my case, I did 6 inches for the shoulders, each part, and then I left 9 inches for the neck hole, and then I have 6 inches for the other side of the shoulder as well. So after you have marked those, this is what you're going to have, and remember to have your work on the wrong side. So this is the right side and this is the wrong side. Okay, this is where we're going to join from. You don't want that to be showing on the right side. So you're going to get the yarn that you're going to use, and we're going to start joining. I used the single crochet stitch for this part. So make a slip knot. You're going to take out the stitch marker and you're going to start joining from that point which you had marked. So this is how I'm going to attach my yarn. Chain 1. I'm going to work over this strand here as I go. So chain 1, back in that same space, you're going to make a single crochet. Into the next space, you're going to make a single crochet. So what we're doing is work over the posts, like the last stitches that we have here, we're working over those. And we are attaching the two sides together. So I'm making 1 double crochet in one post and 2 double crochets into the next, and I'm going to do that until I get to the end. I have joined until I got to my last row of increase, like this was the last clusters of increase that I made. So make 2 single crochets there, and into that same space go back with a slip stitch, chain 1, and cut the yarn, and then you're going to attach it on the other side of the shoulders and join that as well, just like we did with this one. So this is how it looks. So remember to leave the neck hole out. So I'm going to go ahead and join this part as well, and then I'll be back so we can join the sleeves together. So once you're done joining, you're going to cut the yarn off. Then you can stretch it a little bit. And now that's done, so we're going to attach our sleeves. We're going to align our work. So you're going to get your sleeve and you're going to figure out where the wrong side is, and you're going to align it. You're going to make sure that your first row for your sleeve is very well aligned with the shoulder seam, as you can see. So you're going to get a stitch marker and secure that so that it does not move while you're joining. Alright, so you're going to get another stitch marker and you're going to mark where the sleeve stops. If you want, you can do some counting here to make sure that you have the same number of clusters that you are attaching your sleeve to on both sides. So I'm going to place a stitch marker on the other side as well, just like I just did here. And now that we have everything together, we're going to start joining. Okay, so you're going to get your yarn and we're going to start joining from one stitch marker to the other one, to the last one, from this point going all the way to the other point. All right, so make a slip knot. And now I'm going to hold it like this. I feel more comfortable holding it like this, so join it however way you are comfortable. So take the stitch marker out and insert your hook. So you're going to pull your loop through and chain one. I'm going to be working over this strand here, so you're going to chain one and then go back in that same space with a single crochet. Then into the next space you're going to make 2 single crochets. Into the next space you're going to make 2 single crochets, and you're going to repeat that until you get to the last stitch marker. So we're working over our posts here again and placing 2 single crochets in each space. So I'm going to do this until I get to the end, and then I'll be back. I'm not yet at the end, guys. I wanted to show you a little bit here in the middle. Once you get here between the shoulder seam and the shell, the first row that we made for the sleeve, you're going to go between the 6 clusters. Okay, go in the middle of those stitches and place there 2 single crochets, and then continue as we've been doing. I hope that makes sense. Once you get to the end, this is my last stitch marker here. So you're going to place there your 2 single crochets. Then in that same space, you're going to go back with a slip stitch, 1 chain, and you can cut the yarn off. And then we're going to join the other side of the shoulders, like we're going to join the second sleeve, and we're going to use the same technique. So go ahead and do that, and I'll be back so I can show you how to join the sides as well. So this is how my work is looking. All right, so what I'm doing here is attaching my second sleeve and doing the same thing over again, and I'm going to join it just like how we did with the other one until I get to the end. And yeah, it's that simple. All right, so this is how it looks like. We have our 2 sides seamed up very nicely, and we have our open neck hole here, and we have the shoulders So now that everything is done, you're going to hold it like so. Okay. I'm making sure that everything is very well aligned again so that we can join this part as well. So we're going to start joining from the sleeves all the way down to the bottom. And we'll do the same thing with this other side. Okay, all until we get to the last cluster, the one cluster that we made at the end of the row. So I just placed there my stitch marker. That is where I'm going to stop joining. Alright, now go get your yarn and make a slip knot, and let's do this. So we're joining the same exact way like how we did with the rest of the joining. So you're going to attach your yarn, and I'm going to be making 2 single crochets in every space. Again, we are working over our stitches, the very last ones. So I'll make 2 single crochets in this space, make 2 single crochets into the next space, and I'm going to repeat that until I get to the very end. So I'm at the end of my joining. This is my last cluster that I made for the sleeve, and I'm going to end in the very last stitch, the next stitch to the joining seam. Then I'll cut off the yarn, leaving a long tail that I will weave in later. Okay, so that's what we have. So you're going to do the same thing we just did here with the other side and join it. So I think I'm going to just fast forward this part as well, and then I'll be back so I can show you guys how to do the ribbing. Alright, now we're done joining everything together. We have all our seam lines inside. This is the wrong side of our work. Okay, so we're just going to flip it and get the right side out. So once you're done with that, you're going to make a slip knot. I'm going to start from the back panel, and I'm going to attach my yarn right in the center of my first row. Then you're going to chain 2 and make a double crochet into that space. yarn over, make a second double crochet into that same space. The first chain 2 we made does not count as a stitch. Go into the next space with two double crochets, yarn over, get into the next space with 2 double crochets. So basically we're making 2 double crochets in every space, and again we're working over our posts, the very last stitches that we have for this part. Make 2 doubles all the way around the neck hole. Once you make it to the end of the row for the neck hole, you're going to slip stitch on top of the first double crochet, slip stitch to join, then you're going to chain 2. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so now we're going to make a front post, and we're going to go under the chain 2 and the double crochet from previous row and make a front post double crochet, yarn over. Then now we're going to make a back post double crochet. Yarn over, and you're going to repeat that same thing until you get to the end of the row. Front, then back post, front, then back post double crochet, all the way to the end. Once you make it to the end of the row, this is what you will have. I'm making my last stitch. Then you're going to slip stitch on top of the first double crochet that you have, which is a front post double crochet. Then you're going to chain 2 and make a front post, and then you're going to make a back post. Make a front post double crochet, then make a back post double crochet. And you're going to repeat that for the next 3 or 4 rows, or you can make it longer into a turtleneck that you can fold. It's all up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and make main here, and then I'll be back. I made only 3 rows, guys, and here I'm just ending my row with a slip stitch. Pull that tight and weave it in, and that's it. If you want, like I said earlier, you can make that longer. We're now going to make the ribbing for our sleeve. You're going to make a slip knot, and I'm going to attach my yarn here. So this is where I have my last cluster, so I'm going between the cluster and the joining seam that I have for the sleeve. You're going to chain 2 and then yarn over, make a double crochet into that same space. Yarn over, go with a double crochet in the next space. Then here you're going to skip the next 3 double crochets and work a double crochet into the next space, work a double crochet into the next space, and you're going to repeat that, making 1 double crochet in every space. One double crochet, 1 double crochet until you get to the end for this sleeve. I'm at the end of my row and I'm going to slip stitch in the first double crochet to join. Before you proceed from this point, please make sure your hand can go through this. If not, I recommend you make 2 double crochets in every space before you get to this second row for the sleeve, okay? So you're going to chain 2, and we're doing the same thing we did for the neck hole, making the front and back post double crochet. So that's what I'm doing here right now. Make a back post double crochet, then a front post double crochet, then a back post. Repeat that until you get to the end. Once you get to the end of the row, you're going to slip stitch to join. Okay, then you're going to chain 2, and you're going to repeat your row of front and back post double crochet. So that's my first, that's my second, and I'm going to keep doing this. Once again, when you get to the end of the row, you're going to slip stitch to join, then chain 2, and you're going to repeat making your front and back post double crochets, and you're going to keep repeating this over and over again, as many rows as you like. And I'm going to go ahead and do mine. I'll be back to tell you guys how many rows I ended up making. So I ended up making a total of 13 rows for the cuff of my sleeve. And this is what I have. I changed color there, as you can see. So to complete this, you're going to chain 1, and we're going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch until we get to the end. Once you get to the end of the row, you're going to slip stitch, chain 1, and then you can cut off the yarn, and you have to weave in that strand. So you're going to make your second sleeve the same exact way. So here I have my second sleeve as well completed, and they look the same. So we're now going to go and work on the bottom of our sweater, and we're going to do the same type of ribbing. So I'm going to flip it and turn it the other way around. I want to start from the back panel and then work my way around. This is it. So now I'm going to start working I'm inserting my hook in the back panel. Make a slip knot, and then we're going to attach that. Okay, so you're going to chain up 2, and in that same space you're going to make 2 double crochets. Go in the next space with 2 double crochets, yarn over, go into the next space, make 2 double crochets, and you're going to keep repeating that until you get to the end of the row, making 2 doubles in every space. Once you get to the end of the row, you're going to slip stitch on top of the first double crochet to join and complete that row. So for row 2, we're going to start making our front and back post double crochet. So we're going to go behind the chain and the first double crochet and make our front double crochet, then make a back post double crochet. Next, make a front post, then a back post, then a front post double crochet, and you're going to repeat that all the way to the end. When you get to the end of the row, you're going to slip stitch on top of your first front post double crochet. Then to start your next row, you're going to chain 2 and make a front post, because here we started with a front post, so you're just going to follow that pattern. Front post, then a back post, a front post double crochet, then a back post double crochet, and you're going to keep repeating that again, and you're going to repeat the same pattern over and over until you have enough. So I got to the end, slip stitched, and I chained 2, and now I'm starting my next row of front and back post double crochet. So basically that's it. It's the same pattern we've been doing for the finishing, for the ribbing of a sweater. We did that around the neck and around the sleeves. So you're going to keep going and making this. I'm going to go ahead. I just want to finish this yarn off. Once it's done, that's when I will stop. So I'll go ahead and finish this, and I'll be back to tell you guys how many rows I made. And yeah, and that will be it. I ended up making 4 rows for the ribbing at the bottom, and I was done just like that. So if you've watched all the way here, guys, thanks so much for watching. I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye bye.